This is Bill with Rocky Valley RV, and we're going to go over some tips and tricks on getting your camper ready for the season. Today, we're going to talk about propane systems. Things you want to check for in the spring, make sure everything's functioning properly. First place I always start is at the tanks. We're going to look at the handles, make sure nothing's hit them over the winter, make sure that they turn on easy, make sure they turn off easy. You want to inspect your hoses for any dry rot, because if they're starting to crack now, chances are you're going to be smelling propane before the season's over. This customer's put stainless steel hoses on to try and avoid that from happening. Check going down through your regulator. Make sure you don't see any oil residue around the regulator. If you do, you'll want to call us to get a new regulator installed. Inspect your hose that comes down through and feeds the camper. Make sure, again, there's no dry rot, that it's not rubbing through on the frame anywhere. And if you see any signs of it, get an appointment for somebody that knows what they're doing with the propane systems to handle it. Now that we've checked the tanks outside, we know the hoses are good coming in. The first place I start is at the stovetop. And what I'll do is I'll come in, turn a burner onto the ignite position. We'll light a burner and let it run for a little while. I want to make sure that all the air is out of the propane line, because through the winter, the air and the gas will separate, and you'll have air at the top filling the lines up. Once it's burned, we can shut it off. We know we have good flow. And I'm going to come over to the freezer, or the refrigerator, and I'm going to turn that on. And I'm going to get that to light on gas to make sure the lines are flowing through there. Any appliance will try and light 3 times before it goes to a fault. With this Dometic refrigerator, it will beep at us and tell us if it doesn't light. And it will also come up with a check light that will light up at the top. If that happens, you can just shut it off, turn it back on. That will reset the circuit board. It'll go through the cycle again. It can take 2, 3, sometimes 4 times to get the air out of the line feeding the appliance. So you do that starting with the stove, move to the refrigerator, and then you can do the water heater, the furnace, and all your systems will have propane flowing to them. So the last thing we want to look for in your propane system is not even attached to the system, but it's your propane and or your carbon monoxide detector. Both of these are critical while you're camping. If there was ever a leak when you're sleeping from propane, chances are you're not going to smell it till it's too late. And carbon monoxide is the silent deadly killer. So you want to make sure that that unit is in your camper. This camper, it should be mounted right there, and it's missing. So that's a red flag. Huge. If you ever need a carbon monoxide detector, or you have any questions on your propane system, which we advise getting a leak check done at least once a year to make sure there are no leaks, feel free to reach out to us at 865-205-5784.